Hello and welcome to our major news broadcast for the day on Ogtv. I am Adewale Dosumu. First, the major highlights. President Tinubu tasked judges to shun corruption, uphold judicial integrity. Vice President Shettima calls for accelerated action to maximize Nigeria's $14.23 billion sanitation economy by 2030. Over 9,000 beneficiaries recorded as federal government launches tertiary institutions staff fund. Bangladesh ousted leader Sheikh Hasina sentenced to death for crimes against humanity.
And also on the news tonight, Nigerians' inflation rate drops to 16.05% in October. I'll bring you details of this and many more on the business segment of the news. I am Opeyemi Adeomi. Don't go away.
And on sport news tonight, NFF apologizes to Nigerians over Super Eagles World Cup disqualification. This and more much later on the news. I am Moses Ojewumi. Stay with us.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. You can watch us live on these platforms: Facebook at Ogtv and Ogun State Television, YouTube at Ogtv Abeokuta, and on Ogtv website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, check us on these platforms: X at Ogtv, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download Ogtv app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. President Bola Tinubu has cautioned judicial officers across the country that justice must remain sacred and insulated from corruption, declaring that justice must never be for sale. Speaking at the opening of the 2025 All-Nigerian Judges Conference of the Supreme Court in Abuja, Tinubu emphasized that judicial officers remain the true custodians of justice and assured continued investment in welfare, training, and the National Judicial Institute. The president stated that continuous learning and ethical renewal must shape the bench. However, Tinubu warned that no reform would succeed without unwavering integrity. He said justice must never be for sale and the bench must never become a sanctuary for compromise. The president insisted that judicial discipline must be firm and transparent, stressing that safeguarding the court's integrity is the responsibility of every judicial officer, not just the National Judicial Council. He urged the judiciary to embrace bold, practical reforms that will restore public trust and strengthen the rule of law, warning that the legitimacy of the courts is threatened when justice is delayed or tainted.
Support must be tangible, not ceremonial, and I mean it. It must translate into improved working conditions, modern infrastructure, and well-equipped courtrooms where justice is dispensed promptly and transparently. Our court must no longer be places where cases languish for years. They must become beacons of efficiency, where disputes are resolved swiftly and where litigants depart with renewed confidence in the rule of law. The modernization of judicial infrastructure remains a central priority. Technology is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. The digitization of our core process, the adoption of integrated cases management system, and the provision of secured and reliable judicial facilities will receive sustained attention from this administration. A digital, transparent judiciary will not only improve efficiency, but also deepen accountability and public trust. We should not leave any of our courts behind in this transformation. Yet,
meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has raised concerns over the rising number of graduates entering the labor market, emphasizing the need for university curricula to align with employability, entrepreneurship, and job creation. The president stated this during the 36th convocation ceremony of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, in Ondo State. He urged Nigerian universities to deepen their contributions to national development by advancing cutting-edge research, fostering innovation, and strengthening industry collaborations. The president, who was represented by the Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, Professor Abdullahi Yusufu Ribadu, urged the graduates to leverage the opportunities provided by the administration and apply their skills in technology, agriculture, and entrepreneurship to become self-reliant and contribute meaningfully to national development. Tinubu also urged young graduates to explore the agricultural value chain, which he described as a gold mine capable of generating jobs and wealth. Over 9,000 beneficiaries have been recorded as the Federal Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, and the Bank of Industry, has rolled out the Tertiary Institutions Staff Support Fund, TISSF. The new scheme is designed to improve the welfare of academic and non-academic staffs across Nigeria's tertiary institutions. In a statement released on the official X handle of the National Orientation Agency, under the initiative, eligible members of staff of the federal and selected state universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education can access interest-free loans of up to 10 million naira, repayable over a maximum period of 5 years following a 12-month moratorium. According to details released by the ministry, about 248 institutions nationwide have been cleared to participate in the program. These include all federal universities, polytechnics and colleges of education, as well as one state university, one state polytechnic, and one state college of education in each state. The ministry also confirmed that in the first phase of disbursement, more than 9,000 staff of eligible institutions have already received payments under the scheme. It had beneficiaries that the account will be paid into the beneficiary's account, with 28% of the 33,000 verified applicants drawn from around 219 federal and state tertiary institutions. The TISSF is aimed at improving financial stability to staff in the sector while supporting productivity and institutional growth across Nigeria's higher education system. Vice President Kashim Shettima has called for bold, accelerated action to maximize Nigeria's $14.23 billion sanitation economy, stating that the sanitation remains at the heart of the government's policy. Shettima made the call while declaring open the 2025 National Sanitation Conference in Abuja. He was represented by Binta Ina Audu, Senior Special Advisor to the President on Humanitarian Matters. The two-day conference, themed Accelerating Sanitation for All, brought together government officials, development partners, civil societies, academia, and community leaders to chart a new direction for the country's water, sanitation, and hygiene wash sector. Shettima described the conference as historic, noting that the lack of access to safe sanitation remains one of the world's and Nigeria's most pressing public health challenges. The Vice President highlighted the significant economic toll of poor sanitation, citing a World Bank report that shows Nigeria loses $3 billion annually due to inadequate sanitation, resulting in preventable diseases, contaminated water sources, and reduced productivity. Open defecation, he warned, continues to damage the nation's image and jeopardize children's health through diseases such as cholera and diarrhea. He emphasized that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has placed WASH at the center of national development through the creation of the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation. Former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has charged young entrepreneurs to embrace discipline, integrity, and delayed gratification as essential tools for long-term business success. Professor Osinbajo made the call as guest speaker at the 10th anniversary of Kickstart Awards, an initiative of the International Breweries Foundation. Our reporter, Margaret Okolola, reports that wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, joined dignitaries to give her own quota.
Wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, has joined a host of federal and state dignitaries from Lagos, Ogun, and Osun states, political office holders, heads of agencies, captains of industries, entrepreneurs, among others, for the 10th edition of the Youth Enterprise Empowerment Scheme of the Kickstart Initiative, organized by the International Breweries Foundation, where 60 million naira was disbursed to 45 young business owners across different sectors, following an earlier investment of about 100 million naira in training and capacity development. In his keynote address titled Character First, former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, emphasized the power of preparation, discipline, and character in building sustainable enterprises. Drawing examples from global business cultures, he warned young entrepreneurs against the rising culture of premature luxury, urging them instead to reinvest in technology, processes, and people.
Excel not just for yourself, but for those who will follow after you. And let me just say in conclusion, as you build your businesses, remember that perseverance fuels resilience. Integrity sustains reputation. Diligence and preparedness open doors. Delayed gratification is what multiplies success. Vision gives meaning to all your labor. And above all, character keeps you in the room long after talent and money have run their course.
Citing the example of a previous beneficiary in the year 2017 who got 1.5 million naira but has now increased it to over 10 million naira revenue with branches across Nigeria, Senegal, and the Gambia. On her part, Mrs. Abiodun emphasized that talent and money are useful, but they cannot replace integrity, reliability, and discipline, which are the pillars that sustain long-term growth.
They have to have integrity, they have to have resilience, they have to apply hard work into whatever it is that they're doing. For the young generation, you are very creative. You're more creative than our generation. You're more exploratory. You are more inquisitive. You can do a lot better than we have. So the sky is the limit for the young people.
Highlight of the ceremony was the presentation of the Grand Awards by Professor Osinbajo, where two outstanding beneficiaries received 3 million naira each to expand their ventures and deepen their impact. Margaret Okolola, Ogtv News.
In order to improve safety culture and emergency response across Ogun State, there is need for safety practitioners, regulators, and the private sector to collaborate with other agencies. This call was made by Global Pacific Consulting Limited at the 2025 Community Safety Summit themed Community Safety, Collaborations and Partnership for a Prosperous Economy, sponsored by the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Olaide Oloye was at the Obas Complex, Ukimoso Abeokuta, venue of the summit. Here is her report.
The Ogun State government has reaffirmed its commitment to building safer, stronger, and more economically vibrant communities as stakeholders converged for the 2025 Ogun State Community Safety Summit, themed Community Safety Collaboration and Partnership for a Prosperous Economy. The summit had in attendance security agencies, traditional rulers, community leaders and government officials, and other key stakeholders, as well as the Ogun State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Ganiu Amzat, who stressed the importance of interagency collaboration while urging security outfits, community policy structures, and local authorities to deepen cooperation.
Let us therefore fasten our belts at our individual corporate capacity towards ensuring a peaceful and prosperous society which constitutes essential cause of our national objectives.
In his keynote address, the Ogun State House of Assembly Speaker, Right Honorable Udaisi Elemide, represented by Honorable Tunde Tella, called for renewed commitment from community associations, religious institutions, and youth groups in an effort to support government-led safety initiatives.
The Ogun State House of Assembly remains committed to enacting laws and policies that will enhance safety, protect citizens, and promote inclusive development across all local governments.
Speakers at the event highlighted intelligence sharing, rapid response system, and the need for public trust to enhance operational effectiveness.
Once the community have all the stakeholders collaborating, then of course safety becomes an issue that will not be a problem for the society. That's the take home.
The issue of security, it concerns everybody. If you are not affected, you are affected one way or the other. So nobody is left out. The violence, the city. That's why we have brought everybody here today to learn about how to collaborate.
Other key stakeholders present underscored the cultural responsibility of safeguarding communities. They reiterated their readiness to work together to reduce crime, prevent communal disputes, and respond more swiftly to emergencies.
That the Ministry of Local Government and the Ogun State chapter, collaborate with our organization so that we can have a befitting society. We can have a secure society. So we have kickstarted. All we want to do is to make sure we go to all the 20 local governments in the state.
The summit concluded with a strong call for sustained collaboration, as stakeholders agree that the path to a prosperous Ogun State rests on a mutual partnership between government, security agencies, and the citizens. Olaide Oloye, Ogtv News.
Still ahead on the news, Defense Minister condemns attack on Government Girls Secondary School, Kebbi. Join us for details of this and more after the break.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer. Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small win wey dey carry person go far.
No worry, you sef go make am. No go buy ball.
Victor, even you dey use money point?
Of course na, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
You're welcome back. In case you're just joining us, you're watching the major news broadcast of the day on Ogtv. There's been a call for mainstreaming of people living with disability in all development plan of Ogun State. This was contained in a communique at the end of a roundtable discussion on People with Disability Law 2017 versus Diversity, Equity and Inclusion DEI Bill 2025 of the Ogun State, currently before the Ogun State House of Assembly. Fora Adeso was at the JDPC Hall, Ijebu-Ode, venue of the meeting. His report.
It's a rare outing. People with Disability, Peace Club, Association of Small-Scale Agro-Producers in Ogun State, and the Center for Grassroots Economic Empowerment Women, Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities, among others, came under the roof of Justice Development and Peace Commission, Ijebu-Ode.
Please, and let's help our brothers and sisters and our children.
The aim was to review the existing Ogun State People with Disability Law 2017, as well as examining the content and implication of the new Disability, Equity and Inclusion Bill of 2025, which is before the Ogun State lawmakers.
Children living with disabilities should have free medical services at public health institutions. Not even only children, but PWD should have free medical services at government or public institutions.
The forum highlighted the areas where the bill aligns with the existing PWD law 2017 and also areas where it contradicted the existing disability law.
Whatever the problem is, let them try and see how they can take out the problem. That which is good for us, that they can bear. Let them bring it into this.
Adebeshi Abasha, a member of the Joint National Association of People Living with Disabilities and others, shared their experiences, just like Dr. Michael Bohon, the president of association, who said life is so difficult with non-implementation of the PWD 2027 law.
In what way can we better enhance the inclusivity of persons with disability, that even with this bill coming into law?
A lawmaker and the minority leader of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Lukman Adeleye, described the PWD law 2017 as near obnoxious and difficult to implement.
If we are to implement that law only 100%, a lot of things will go into there are a lot of public building that will require reconstruction. There are a lot of people that will be caught by this law.
Reverend Father Patrick Ngui, the director of JDPC, joined the conversation and submitted that dividends of democracy have its roots in inclusiveness.
Diversity is those who have no legs. Diversity is those who have no eyes. Diversity is those who cannot walk on their own. Diversity is those who have no means to go to school. Government should be able to address such diversity in order to promote equity.
The meeting said the bill is more an inclusive law for vulnerable persons, but does not make provision for persons with disability. Adefowora Adesanwo, Ogtv News.
Ogun State Television has held a one-day training workshop to enhance the skills of its journalists in using effective English for presentation and reporting. General Manager of the station, Tunde Kazim, expressed commitment of the management towards building the capacity of members of staff. Ikem Agu reports.
The workshop brings together reporters, presenters, producers, and editorial staff for an intensive session designed to improve language accuracy, clarity, and delivery. Opening the event, Ogun State Television's General Manager, Tunde Kasim, says the initiative demonstrates the station's commitment to maintaining professional standards and ensuring its news content meets global broadcasting expectations.
This training of selected members of our operational staff is designed to further equip you with the skills and knowledge required to elevate your performance. This will also complement the state government's manpower and capacity building for effective and efficient service delivery of its entire workforce.
Resource persons highlight common grammatical pitfalls in broadcasting journalism, techniques for clear and concise script writing, and the importance of correct pronunciation during live news delivery.
The chief tool of our communication is the English language and other languages that are indigenous to us. We have discovered that over time, because of the dynamism of language, there is need for us to constantly, retool and retrain ourselves as to the effective, mode of communication, so that from time to time we serve as models for the audience, and at the same time our content will be correctly disseminated.
I want to encourage journalists, broadcasters, people in the business of news to develop themselves, read wide, so that they can be versatile, and let them be familiar with as many words as possible. Let them develop themselves in every area, every aspect of language usage, particularly the speaking skill, the aspect of grammar, and all of those areas, so that they can serve as models for viewers at home.
Participants take part in practical exercise to strengthen their communication skills, describing the training as timely and impactful.
I have actually learned the use of English as an effective tool in broadcast communication.
For me, it's been interesting, and it's been very, very interactive and practical.
The one-day workshop forms part of the Ogun State Television ongoing efforts to invest in staff development as the station expands its programming and continues to play a vital role in informing the public. In Kem Agu, Ogtv News.
The 20th coronation anniversary of the Alake and paramount ruler of Igbaland, His Majesty Oba Adedotu Aremu Gbadebo, took a humanitarian dimension as thousands of residents benefited from a free healthcare program organized by Transatlantic Holistic Pharmacy Ake to commemorate the milestone celebration. The initiative was part of the week-long anniversary celebration. Details of the event are presented from our studio.
As activities marking the 20th coronation anniversary of the Alake of Igbaland continue across the kingdom, the Ake Palace grounds came alive as medical professionals, volunteers and community members gathered for a special free healthcare outreach. The free healthcare, initiated by Transatlantic Holistic Pharmacy, Ake, medical practitioners provided a wide range of services including eye examination, diabetes screening, hypertension, among others, while essential medications were distributed. Organizers of the program, Dr. Olutola Shobande, said the initiative was designed to face barriers in accessing medical services.
In my community here, Ake, Itoko, KC, Adaton, towards Shakpon, all these people are incredible people, but many of them, or just about all of them, do not have health insurance. So if they get sick, they're on their own. In America, we have practiced for almost 4 decades across 5 different states. We are not there yet in Nigeria. So the best I could come up with is, Farmeron.
Health is wealth. A lot of people are not conversant with what health is, and Transatlantic brought the idea of actually synthesizing the indigenes. So they felt outside this, what's next after we've been able to do the health outreach for them? What's next? So that is why we came as an health insurance, to ensure that we are able to cover them.
Some beneficiaries who spoke with Ogtv said the program did not only ease the burden of healthcare costs, but also created awareness on preventive medical.
Close to the organizers of the initiators of the program, most especially Oba Alake of Igbaland.
The free healthcare outreach is one of the several events lined up to celebrate 2 decades of purposeful leadership, cultural preservation, and community development under the reign of Alake and paramount ruler of Igbaland, Oba Adedotu Aremu Gbadebo.
Meanwhile, the Alake's daughters have hosted a midwives' women's outreach in celebration of the 20th coronation anniversary of the paramount ruler. The group, also known as the Dames Hub, announced a series of special health initiatives and community programs to mark the milestone. Joined by hundreds of residents to celebrate the anniversary, The group used the occasion to highlight vital roles midwives play in safeguarding the health of mothers and women. Abdurrahman Ayotayo's reporters presented from our studios.
The Dames of Alake's daughters commemorated the 20th coronation anniversary of the Alake of Igbaland with a colorful gathering at Ake's Palace Hall in Abeokuta. The event celebrated 2 decades of the monarch's reign while emphasizing the group's ongoing commitment to maternal health. The program featured midwives providing free medical services to residents, bringing healthcare closer to those often overlooked.
They've been used to a lifetime of of a routine. They get their menstruation, they have babies, they are women, they flow in their womanhood. But the menopause comes and then a lot of confusion arises because with menopause comes a lot of symptoms as well. You know, right from the head to the toes. The hormones that control menopause also have a play in that.
Every woman wants to lose weight. If you ask like 98% of women. But at this age, at this stage of ours, it's very, very difficult. So we don't have any selection. It's open to everybody.
Beneficiaries receive free medical checkups, consultations, treatment, and essential medications. Health practitioners also offered counseling on personal hygiene, nutrition, and preventive measures against common ailments. One of the medical practitioners addressed the women on menopause, explaining how it can be managed effectively.
They should do exercises, they should eat a lot of fruits, and at the same time, they should live a healthy lifestyle. And if they experience anything that is out of place, they should visit the gynecologist so that they will be able to help them through it.
Some of the beneficiaries expressed their gratitude to the organizers for the outreach program.
Bandits have reportedly abducted 25 students from the Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School in Maga, Kebbi State. It was gathered that the girls were whisked away during an attack by the gunmen on Sunday night at the school located in the Danko-Wazak local government area of the state. According to sources, the attackers killed the school's vice principal, Malam Hassan Makuku, before abducting several schoolgirls. Witnesses said the bandits operated without resistance and caused widespread panic, throwing the entire region into deep fear and mourning. Vice principal was reportedly shot while attempting to protect the students during the attack. The Kebbi State Police Public Relations Officer, CSP Nafiu Abubakar, while confirming the incident, said 25 students were abducted. Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Muhammad Matawale, has strongly condemned the recent night attack by bandits on the Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School in Maga Zuru Emirate, Danko Wazak local government area of Kebbi State. The attack tragically resulted in the death of the school's vice principal, Malam Hassan Yakubu Makuku, and the abduction of several students. Describing the incident as unacceptable, Dr. Matuwali called on all security agencies to act urgently and collaboratively to ensure the safe release of the abducted students. He also emphasized the need for coordinated efforts to bring the perpetrators to justice and appealed for calm in the affected communities. Activities marking the 100 years of Manifest Glory of the Lord Worldwide, Alagbra, commenced with TCL International Executive Council meeting at the International Cathedral Ogiri on Tuesday, 18th November 2025, followed by a centenary anniversary football match scheduled for 19th November 2025. On Thursday, 20th November, centenary anniversary lecture and book launch holds at Rufus Oshitelu Multi-Purpose Hall, Ogiri Remo, at 11 in the morning. The event continues on Friday, 21st November with Victory Night and Variety Night at Victory Night Auditorium, Ogiri Remo at 9 in the evening. Sightseeing to places of interest will follow on Saturday, 22nd November 2025 at 1 in the afternoon. The week-long event will be rounded off on Sunday, 23rd November 2025, with centenary anniversary Thanksgiving service at Victory Ground, kilometer 60, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Ogireremo, Ogun State. The Ogun State Muslim Council has announced the appointment of the Uluwu of Owu, Oba Sakama Temilala, as its new President General, following the passing of the late President General Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono. In a statement signed by the Secretary General, Ogun State Muslim Council, Asiwaju Kamaldeen Akitunde, the decision was reached at the Council's General Meeting held at the Crescent Muslim Professional Hall, Lemo Abeokuta, attended by distinguished traditional rulers, eminent Islamic scholars, seasoned diplomats, and representatives from the 4 divisions of the state, Egba, Ijebu, Yewa, and Remo. In his acceptance message, Oba Matemilola acknowledged the significant void left by his predecessor and underscored the need for unity, brotherhood, and the eradication of ethnic rivalry among Muslims in Ogun State. The council charged the new President General to lead strong efforts aimed at unifying the Ummah, urging Muslims across the state to speak with one voice and prioritize collective Islamic interest above sectional considerations. Meanwhile, the council also raised concern over the declining presence of Arabic and Islamic studies, resolved to collaborate with Union of Arabic Teachers and engage relevant authorities to ensure a decisive intervention. Okwemi Adeomi will be back after the break with some business reports. Do stay